Alright guys, so tonight's presentation is just on my expectations for the actual PowerPoint or Prezi or whatever you're making to go along with your opening statement. So at the end of the tutorial tonight, you'll just know my expectations for the presentation as a requirement for the proficiency of the debate. So again, anytime you see the little pencil in the corner, you know to write down things. So, what to include in the presentation? Well, the opening slide, I really would like for you guys to include your argument. So, for example, if you're doing beauty pageants, the argument itself is beauty pageants do more harm than good. So you would include that and then tell us whether you're the pro or the con side. And then I also want you to include the names of everyone in your group. So please see me if you don't remember what your actual argument is, and I will let you know. Okay, so the bulk of the presentation should be on your actual body of your speech. So you should have at least one slide for each argument, and for each argument slide you should include all the best facts and points for that particular argument. As far as videos and photos, please don't include too many items that will distract from your opening speech. So I'm kind of thinking and talking about any of those like moving GIF or moving animated clip art objects that you might include. While those do engage the audience, it's not something that you want to include too much of because your speech is going to be fairly short and you don't want the audience to be distracted by something moving on the screen. I mean, it's good to have them focus on that. It kind of helps with nervousness issues and that sort of thing, but you don't want them to be so focused that they miss the stuff that you're saying. Okay. And then also if you're going to do videos, like in the example that I showed you in class, the team last year that did beauty pageants, they created their own, they interviewed students and created their own video. They edited and put together their own video and then they embedded that within the presentation. And then there was also a presentation or video embedded from the Dish or something like that. I don't know, some sort of clip show from TV on toddlers and tiaras. So they embedded those videos. In other words, they actually took or downloaded the entire video and then embedded that content versus just embedding a link or something and then having to click on the link and go to that, because that's going to be much more difficult for you guys to do when you're behind the podium instead of, you know, over at the smartboard or something. I mean, it's something you could do. It's just not going to be that easy. You'd rather use the clicker and go through and just click on the next button and have the video start playing versus having to move up and go touch the smartboard and get it to go to where you want it to go. So if you need help with figuring that out, please let me know and I can go help you with that. Preferably like after school or during class on one of the back computers. Okay, so tips and tricks. Think bigger font, less writing. You don't want to write every single thing that you have in the opening statement. Remember how we used to talk at the beginning of the year about the rule of 5? That comes into play here. So bigger font, less writing. And then again, pictures and videos, pictures, clip art, not too much to distract the audience. And definitely change the background. You don't want to do just a flat white background. Just a little effort goes a long way for the audience and makes it look like you spent a lot of time when maybe all you did was change the theme or design layout. So a little bit goes a long way. And then think about who's actually going to flip through the presentation and use the little clicker that I have in the room. So is it going to be the opening statement person or is it going to be someone else on the team? Now if you use someone else on the team, like a person that's doing rebuttals or something, you're clicking and not necessarily writing down notes or prepping for rebuttal, which, you know, that you might not be doing that during your own team's opening statements. You might be free to do that. Whatever is going to be easier for the person giving the opening statement. I mean, these are the people that have stepped up to the plate and are doing the biggest or the bulk of the public speaking for this particular proficiency. So whatever you guys can do as a team to make their nervousness and whatnot easier would be good. So really talk as a team and figure out who's going to use the clicker and flip through the presentation. I think that's an important piece. Don't forget it. Okay, so again, the opening slide should have the title of the argument and the members of the group. You need to have at least 3 to 4 slides or 3 slides for each argument. And you need to practice the time and delivery of the speech with the presentation so that you know when to press the button on the clicker. Because there's been so many times where I've had people just go through their opening statement and they completely forget about the presentation. They're so nervous, or they've only practiced with their note cards and not with the presentation, that they never move the clicker and we're stuck on slide 1. So as we move forward on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week and have time in class to practice and do the last little bits and pieces, please make sure that you practice with the presentation itself. Okay? Alright, you're done. Nice and easy, under 6 minutes. Don't forget to scroll down to the bottom of this tutorial and enter the digital portion of the whisk. It is how you get your points. Please don't forget, it's most important. Well, the notes are really the most important, but I like the digital piece. Lets me know how many of you are watching the video. Alright, I'll see you in class tomorrow. Bye, guys.